My name is Don Phillips, and I live in Los Angeles, California. And I have worked with government-sponsored agencies, but I also went to work for Lockheed Aircraft Corporation. My studies had to do with the design, engineering, mechanical, electrical, and aeronautics. I was a pilot, and at the time, 1961, 62, I started my new job in what is called the Skunk-works. Our projects were, of course, a contract special aircraft, flying aircraft, for the government, the United States government, and other agencies of the government, of course, supplied pilots. And I say this because it's important to the defense of the United States and the free world. Free world means those that believe in the opportunities for all humankind. The projects that I worked on were ongoing, and when I left the employment of the Skunk-works to go into the military, I felt that this is something I wanted to come back to after serving my country. Las Vegas, or near Las Vegas, Nevada, were very much in close proximity to our areas where we tested our aircraft, and a lot of commonly known as Area 51. We call it the Dreamland, the hog farm, the lake. You know, this place would flood once in a while, and it was really unusable. We're testing airplanes, and everybody knows that it tested special aircraft, such as the Blackbird, which I'm very proud of because that's my baby. When I was working with the Skunk-works, we signed an agreement with the National Security Agency and the National Security Council, as well as the CIA. And we kept very quiet about things because they always knew where we were and what we were doing. And I automatically had that team spirit, and we were a big family there, and I was very proud of that, having worked directly for Kelly Johnson. We worked with the Central Intelligence Agency as contractors. That was during the time of the Skunk-works. You see, the CIA was one of our best customers. And it's the CIA that has one of the world's best air forces. It's not... We have Francis Gary Powers, yeah, we knew him. Schumacher, a lot of these people. They're very real people, and they were often moved around by politics. You understand that the SR-71, we took some great risks. Do you think that some of the technology that you incorporated into that aircraft came from outside sources, outside the planet Earth? And I says, it's very possible. But I says, you have to remember, we came up with some, we still have to make it work here on planet Earth. So the propulsion systems, yes, there were new ones being developed. From what I learned over a period of years, anti-gravitational, actually using the force that is generated naturally by the planet Earth, is to repel off of it. There was research going on with that. We know, we can safely say that yes, there were some captured craft from 1945 or 47, was it? In Roswell, New Mexico, and yeah, they were real. And yes, we really did get some technology from them. And yes, we really did put it to work. And we can thank people in the United States Army to have the foresight to put these into industry for the benefit of the people of the world. I know this to be a fact. We put it to use, but it took us a long time to figure out what it was, and then figure out how we can use it, and then what to use it for. And are those products useful for humanity? I didn't see the craft, nor did I see the bodies, but I certainly know some of the people that did. And of course they're they're passed on now from their earthly bodies, but there was no question that there are people or beings from outside the planet that have lived here for a long time. And it isn't just something new that's been happening in the last couple of years. There's been NATO research conducted, joint research, joint meaning many different countries, And this, it's been documented as to who those races are and their population at that time. And this was back in the early 60s. This is when I know that some of the technologies that came out of the Roswell incident, the technologies meaning that which came with the extraterrestrial craft. It took a while to figure out how they worked before we knew what to make from it, and then how to get it into industry. How can it benefit the people? And maybe they had color-coded what we would call fiber optics today that could bend light and that could guide light to one data location to another data location. Well, guess what? We've been talking about it for 6 years. We have that type of technology now. The guidance mechanism were nothing. There was no yoke, there was no wheel, there was a console, very colorful, and they used their hands. And by the thought process and by the way they moved their hands in rhythm with their thoughts was the guidance for the aircraft. But we also have, where I live, my neighborhood, I find out that we have prominent research people that are working on what we called in the Foxbat, the movie Foxbat, where they had the helmet that says, oh, you think in this language and you think this and you guide it with your eyes that way and you fire it with your thought process and, you know, fire your armament from the aircraft. That's very real. It wasn't perfected to the point that the movie made it perfected, but by gosh, since that time, I think they have come pretty close. I'd like to add too that I feel that I'm not positive, but I think it would. Some of this technology came from crafts of other crashes. Okay, not just. There's a lot made of Roswell,